What's up, Broskiis? Keanu here, another deck profile. I got pure Gizmeks for you today. No module. You know, if you've been here, you probably saw the match between this and I believe it was like Gizmek versus Zombies. Wasn't the best matchup. It might have been Zombies. I can't remember. Probably wasn't the best matchup because then against that deck, you know, it keeps all your cards from being machines. So that kind of sucked. But this is a deck I've been having a lot of fun with, especially on the local level. It's just one of those decks that you can just swing in for huge damage. Like it's more of an OTK build deck. It can go first. You don't always want to go first. Actually, you never want to go first. There's some heavy hitters in here going second. This is relatively budget too, just super fun to play. So I thought I'd you know, drop this for you guys. I guess I'll go and get into it. Before I get into it, leave a comment on the video. Let me know what you would change about the deck. Let me know what you like about the deck. If you like the deck, like the video. If you like the video, please consider subscribing as always. And if you know anybody that likes playing OTK decks, this might be the deck for them. So I'm going to get into it. One of the Gizmek Okami, the dreaded Deluge Dragon, one of the Gizmek Kaku. Both pretty good, but you don't really want to see, like, if you have multiple of them, because they aren't always live. This one, there has to be, if it's two or more monster special from the extra deck or on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. So that's really good, but that's not all the time. That's most times, but whatever. You can also pay 1,500 life points to destroy all monsters on the field that were special summoned from the extra deck. So that's super cool too. And you can only attack with one monster the turn you use that effect. Kaku, most of you know what Kaku does. If a monster's in the extra monster zone, you can just special summon this card from your hand. You can also target one face-up monster in the extra monster zone, equip that face-up monster to this card. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can special summon one of your monsters equipped to this card. You can only use that effect once per turn. So they're in situations, they're actually super phenomenal. They're just incredible cards in the right situation. But as you can see, Kaku most of the time is just going to get straight up negated. Once it hits the board and you know, use a snatch shield effect, they're not going to let that go through. They're just not going to do that. That'd be crazy. But at least it baits an easy negate, especially going second. That's really all you want. Best Gizmek in the deck, Gizmek Orochi. If this card's in your hand or graveyard, you can just banish 8 cards off the top. Special summon it. Also, you can banish 3 cards from your extra deck face down, then target one face-up monster on the field, destroy it. You can only use one Gizmek Orochi, the Serpentine Sky Slasher effect per turn, and only once that turn. By far your best card. You know, it sets up your turn too, just in case you don't swing and kill them. Like you can, you know, on their turn, you can just special summon them back for a little line of defense. And there's actually some pretty cool interactions in the extra deck, but I'll explain that when we get there. 2 Gizmek Uka. This one's not that great, but there's a funny little combo in here I do that makes it necessary to run 2. Because if you open up one, that one combo is immediately dead. And I'll kind of get into that when I get there, but it's also really good because it makes side decking super easy. So if you go second, you kind of get a feel for what they play for, and then you can, you know, side into a barrier statue. I'm sure all y'all remember that one. It was at the height of its popularity. The special summon out the water statue and just ending their turn right there. That's obviously super hilarious. Next up, triple Gizmek Kami, the Ferocious Fang Fortress. This one's just, man, this one's nuts. It's pretty great. So while 6 or more of your cards are banished, you can just normal summon this card without tributing. And you can only use each of the following effects of Makami or Wolf, I call him Wolf, once per turn. And if it's normal or special summon, you can discard one monster, add one monster whose attack equals its own defense from your deck to your hand, except this card. And also, if this card in the monster zone is destroyed, you can shovel 6 of your banished cards into the deck. So really, the best thing about this is obviously the recursion effect, because you can really just go through your deck super fast. And if you watch the match, I'll leave the link in the description. I was still relatively new to this deck, and I never anticipated grinding, but if you ever have to grind, he's incredible in the grind game. Is this all your recursion? You just get 6 back. You know, it's just incredible. Most of the time, those banished face downs are just gone for good, but not with this guy. Gizmek Arakami, the Hellbringer Hog. This one's also really nice. If you control a machine monster, which attack equals its own defense, you special summon it, so it's an incredible extender. And then you can banish this card from your graveyard and then target one machine monster you control whose attack equals its own defense. Pretty much every machine in your deck. Send one machine from your deck to the graveyard whose attack equals its own defense, and then it pumps that up times the level. Pretty nasty. I like. He's better for a special summon effect because you can go into easy like rank 2. Just blow shit up. The rabbit, just incredible. Gizmek Inaba. If you normal summon him, you can special summon one machine whose attack is its own defense from your hand in the defense position. So this is easy like link 2. Easy link 2. Also, you can banish this card from your graveyard and then target one machine monster you control whose attack equals its own defense. This turn, you cannot declare attacks except with that monster. Also, its attack and defense become the combined original attack of all machine monsters you control whose attack equals their own defense. We're OTKing, right? Am I right, boys? This is OTK. It basically last line says we're OTKing. We're OTKing. That's it. Gizmek Tenagaku. I was playing it in mid 3, not good at 3 at all. But I run 2 because he's an Earth, and like I said, the other one, the Gizmek Kaku is also an Earth. That's gonna come up. I'll explain that in extra deck. I'll explain the combo. But this card is normal special summon. You can take one machine monster whose attack equals on defense and place it on top of your deck. I mean, whatever. I mean, that's okay. The best effect is you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one machine monster in your graveyard whose attack equals its own defense. Special summon in a defense position. You can only use each effect of Gizmek Tanagaku once per turn. So obviously his graveyard effect is the absurd effect. His normal summon effect is like meh. I mean, it's not really going to get you anywhere. Plus, I don't know, you have an upstart. That's never going to come up because I don't run upstart. Gizmek Naganaki, the Sunrise Signaler. I don't know. I mean, situationally, he's great. I guess I run him more for the name. But with this one, you contribute one machine monster whose attack equals its own defense. Special summon from your deck one machine monster whose attack equals its own defense with a lower level. So you're going to want to be tributing your big boys because, I mean, if you tribute him, you have no other target. Well, you have the rabbit as a target, but that's pretty much it. If you tribute rabbit, you have no target. So you can see why this is like super situational. Also, you can banish this card from your graveyard, add it to your hand. One of your banished face down. Well, hold on. Sorry about that. You can banish this card from your graveyard, add to your hand one of your banished face down machine monsters whose attack equals its own defense. That is by far the best effect. That's pretty much the only reason why you play it. Just kind of gets you anything. You can even go get your Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon. It's a one of. This is part of the combo I was talking about. Its attack equals its own defense, so it's pretty nuts. But whatever. I know y'all are about to hate me. Dark Magician, Red Eyes Fusion. That's the package. You already know. Just because with the Gizmeks, this really like puts it over the top, and you can brick really bad with this deck and just still end on Dragoon. That might just, I mean, that could be more of like a Dragoon's like super toxic, whatever. But I like it because even if you brick, you aren't like super dead. All the cards love being in the graveyard. So Dragoon, when you have to discard and negate a card, you're kind of setting up it's just like incredible synergy, honestly. And this is not what we're always going into. This is like a kind of like a fail-safe. Most of the time I'm wanting to end it like that turn. So, whatever. For the hand trap lineup, 2 Ash, 2 Ghosts, most impactful hand traps currently, 2 Effect Veiler. They just stop shit. They just end the turn. The less they leave on the board, the easier it's gonna be. This board can crack through, I mean, this deck can crack through bigger boards, but, you know, sometimes the well-timed Effect Veiler, well-timed Ash, especially against your rogue matchups, just kind of ends their turn. So, you know, one Necroface because it's hilarious. I was running it at 2. That's bad because for some reason I always like, you don't want to open it. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's funny, like, yeah, turn 1, like, you can, like, banish, like, a bunch with your, Extravagance. Spoiler, I run Extravagance in this. You can banish a lot with your Extravagance, or you can banish a lot with, Orochi, and then just shuffle them all back, so he's pretty cool for that, but you don't really want to run more than 1. He's just your recursion, and, in the match, like I said, I'll link that in the description. In the match, I was not running him, but if I was, that'd be pretty nuts, because it just kind of like shuffles everything back and you just restart. Pretty hilarious card. Double Extrav, I was running 3, but I just, by the time you banish with Orochi, you Extrav. Most of the time you're Extraving into Extrav, or at least that's my luck. So double Extrav is like perfect. A budget option, like an even more budget option, would be Pot of Desires. You can just like literally cut the Dragoon package. Because like I said, the Dragoon package is not super necessary. What would even be zestier is if you use Pot of Prosperity. That would be even better actually than Extrav or Desires, because you can keep everything the way it is. Next up, double Lightning Storm. I run Lightning Storm just because it's like a red Geki and a heavy Harpy's Duster or whatever. But in place of this, there's much better options. You can run the Kaiju Slumber, take out the Red Eyes package, add in 3 Kaiju, 2 Slumber. That's also pretty nice little package. Kaijus are obviously super relevant in today's format. If you have the money for it, Forbidden Droplets is absolutely absurd in this deck. I just don't have the goo for it right now. You know, we're praying for those reprints, boys. We're praying for it. But I just don't feel like shelling out over $100 because I would run that at 3. I don't feel like shelling out $300 for something that's going to be reprinted, and we'll probably all get it for like $30. So I'm not going to do that. But that's by far the superior option. You could run triple those. 2 Urgent Schedule, because this is like a pretty nice, like, it's kind of like a 1 card like OTK. 2 limited removal. I'm throwing it back. Like I said, we just want to end it. And if you don't end it, you can always link off your machines and you don't have to suffer the ramifications of like using this card. 1 Duster, because we are going second, and 1 Gear Town. And that's it for the main deck. Like that said, this deck is like super fun. It's got potential. I'm not gonna say like, oh, I'm going to win like a YCS or a regionals, but it's hilarious and it has like a lot of potential. 1 Salamangreat Almirage, 1 Verte Anaconda, 2 Ancient Gear Ballista, just for the combo. So if you Extrav, most of the time you aren't hitting off 2. 1 Cerberus, 1 Phoenix, 1 Unicorn. Just standard link shit. Topologic Trisbana. This is for them, just depending on the matchup. That's why like sometimes it's super funny. Like if you go into like, you know, like Ancient Gear, Ballista, Orochi on the field, you know, you usually have your Reactor Dragon. If you can't finish it that turn, especially if you use limit removal, you can link off like your Orochi and your Catapult into Trisbay, and then on their turn, especially if you're playing against a super back row heavy deck, you special summon the Orochi back, just blow up, banish everything. That's a really sweet interaction. Same thing with Bomber Dragon. You can end literally on that same 4-card board, link them all for Bomber, let them go, proceed with their turn, and then Orochi back from the graveyard, and just pretty nuts, honestly. That's if you can't finish it. 1 Zerboros, kind of like the same logic. All of this is kind of like the same logic. I'm just putting like the most impactful link cards right now, currently. Yugioh, obviously super susceptible to Nibiru, but we don't really care. just helps you dig. It's pretty easy to go into. One Boral Sword if we weren't trying to OTK enough. One card Game Ender. 5-headed Link Dragon. This is surprisingly easier to go into than you would think. Obviously you can get Nibiru before then, but it's super easy to get into it. And that one, and then one the Arrival Cybers at Ignister. Once again, super easy to go into it, and it's just the towers. It's just hard to get over. And the last card, Dragoon. Whoops, Dragoon Boy. But this is all preference. But this is currently like what I've been playing with. I really enjoy this deck. You know, but you guys can let me know in the comments what you would change. You should go load this up on Dueling Book. Actually, it's super fun to play. It's super budget. Yeah, but comment down below if you want me to relist those budget options. Like the video if you like the video. Please consider subscribing. Share this with a friend. Go check us out on Instagram, and we'll see you boys next time.